Welcome back to Mission About Crochet. I'm Bree, and I just want to ramble on a little bit about crochet today. So I got a few different things in my mind, from a project I just finished to another project I just finished to Tunisian Crochet and a little bit of Crojo loss. So I have a lot to say, but I'm going to try and fit it into a small amount of time. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first thing I want to talk about is I finally finished the American flag blanket. Now I'm not going to be able to get the whole thing in the frame, so I'll put a picture right here to show you what it looked like. I really liked this pattern. And the only thing I can actually complain about, and just because we all know I don't like the sewing, I don't like the weaving in of ends. Weaving in ends really wasn't too bad. A little icky at times, but not too bad. But you crocheted all these stars individually and then sewed them on. And then I was in major fear that when I put them on there, you'd have a couple stars that be kind of askew and it would throw the whole thing off. But to be honest, I think it all came out pretty well. What I ended up doing was, oh my goodness, it took forever to find that many stitch markers, it feels like. But I took stitch markers in each star, all 50 of them, and each star had stitch markers in it to get them all in line the best I could, so when I went to sew it I could just sew them all. And that I think helped a lot, because I laid it out flat and kind of pinning each one in place with stitch markers so that they were sitting in a decent formation. They aren't perfectly straight. I'm not claiming that they look perfect or anything, but they came out a lot better than I thought they were going to, because getting things lined up just perfectly is kind of difficult sometimes. And they're not perfect, but I think that the way it came out, I think it looks good. So I really like this. It's one of my new favorites for sure. And if you're interested in it, I will go ahead and have a link in the description. Like I said, it was easy peasy. The directions were very well done. It's a free pattern. It's free on the person's website. And I just think that if you want to make an American flag blanket, because this would be a great time to do it, before summer hits, before 4th of July. I think it's just a great blanket. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is my Tunisian crochet journey. So after finishing that big blanket, was kind of I don't really want to do this anymore. I don't want to crochet. I needed just a little mental break from it, because it's not so much I need a break from crocheting. It was the fact of I needed a break for, I think, looking at crochet. Which who would have thought, as much as I love crochet, that I would say that. But after having to sew all those stars on and how much I stressed about getting the stars just right, I really needed I just needed a minute. So I did not pick up my Tunisian hooks as quickly as I would have liked. I was kind of planning on picking them up and starting to get in Tunisian sooner, but I'm there now. So I have Tony Lipsy's book, which has been a huge help. I've used a combination of that and videos that she has on YouTube, and I am still championing for this book. It is great. The pictures in it are really pretty, and it has the basics, and they're laid out in a way that is very easy to understand. So definitely still loving this book, and currently it's in my project bag, because that's what I'm Tunisian's what I'm trying to tackle right now. So in order to just kind of get my feet wet, I thought, well, I'll just go ahead. I picked up some cotton yarn. Cotton yarn is not it's not stretchy and as forgiving, I feel as acrylic. But when I first learned to crochet, I used cotton, and it helped me be able to gauge my tension better. At least that's what I kind of think. It worked for me. May not work for everybody, but worked for me. So I crocheted up a couple little samples. Now I crocheted up the first sample. This is it here. And I thought, oh, it looks great, It worked out very nicely. And then the only thing I just couldn't understand, because I'm thinking, I don't know, when you finish a project with Tunisian, do you crochet all the way around it to finish the edges? Because the top edge, the bottom edge, have a nice finished look. This edge does, but this edge didn't look, doesn't have that finished edge. And when I was like looking at like the samples in the book and stuff, and I thought, well, that's weird because like the edges, she doesn't have one weird edge like that. Then I realized when you get to the last stitch that you don't just go through like one loop, you're supposed to be going through both loops. So that's where I redid my little sample size here. And I realized that if you go through those last 2 loops like you're supposed to, then you have a finished edge, finished edge, finished edge, finished edge. And so I already made my first mistake and I learned from it. So I'm pretty excited. And like, I was just wondering, like, I ran a little experiment last night because I was kind of wondering, like, I can see that the one edge doesn't look finished and it looks a little wonky, you know, because it's got like, since it's just the one loop through the side there. Let me hold it up so you can kind of see the edges here. These are like the same edge. So you can see like this one's got like this finished edge, kind of looks braided. And then this one's just kind of loops. And like, I just wondered, like, because I've been crocheting a long time, like to me, right away I noticed that there was an issue. So I handed like both of these pieces to my husband. I said, okay, I'm not going to tell you exactly what's wrong with it, but one of them does not look as good as the other. I was like, can you look at them and like, can you tell me which one isn't right and what's wrong? And like, he like kind of flips him his hand. He's like, well, and he just kind of is like, this one doesn't look quite right. And he handed me the one that was incorrect, that didn't have the nice finished edge on it. So it's not just like my keen crochet eye, like anybody could tell it wasn't quite right. So I learned from my mistake though, and now I know. And I am like pleased as punch because like I said, going into Tunisian, like I've said in other videos, like I just didn't know like anything really about Tunisian crochet. And so like when I saw that the edges are like nice and like finished all the way around, I'm like, that's pretty fancy. Now, is that like that with every stitch? I don't know. I'm new to this. But I was like super impressed with like how the edges come out so nice. So I just kind of wanted to give a little update on that. Also, so like I'm working with the clover hooks here, and when I opened it initially, I was like, oh, there's no connectors in there. I was kind of upset about that. But I found out that Clover offers connectors that are like advertised like more for like the knitting set, but I'm pretty sure they all have the same cables. So I mean, here's a little question, like if you own these and like, or if you like knit and like you're using like the Clover ones, like do the connectors work on both? I don't know. I'm going to give it a try. If you happen to know though, and you see this video, let me know in the comments because that would be very helpful to me. I mean, I don't mind buying them and then find out it doesn't work and have to return them. But if I could save a little time because somebody else is more knowledgeable than I am, I will definitely appreciate that. So, the last thing I want to talk about, since this is kind of a rambly, like, kind of thing, Valentine's Day is coming up. And I've been seeing this bookmark that seems to be like trending. I'm seeing it like everywhere. And like, I really liked it. And I thought, man, I could see a lot of fun things you could do with it. So let me show you the bookmark that I saw for Valentine's Day. And I just had to make one for myself. Has anybody else seen these little book thongs? These are so funny. Like they'd be great for like a little prank. Like you could make it like for your husband, like maybe if he reads, be kind of funny. Or like I thought if you're in a book club, it'd be fun to give to all the, the people. Or like, if you're more of a Valentine's Day girl and you celebrate with your gal pals, and like, I just thought it'd be fun. So, I mean, well, here's the X-rated side. Like, I think it's fun. And all I did was single crochets and half double crochets, just a combination. And I mean, something you could work up easy, quick. I mean, and like if you were doing them for like a book club and you had to do multiple, they work up quick and easy, and I mean, your time just flies by. But I've been needing like something that would actually stay in place, because sometimes, you take your book, you throw it in your purse or you throw it in your project bag, and like sometimes, then you have that bookmark that'll fall out. Before this, I was using like a $1 bill my husband gave me, but every once in a while I would lose that $1 bill. This is staying in place. This is not coming off easy. So I just thought I would share this because I just thought it was kind of fun. So that's all I have for you this week. I just kind of wanted to share like where I am in the Tunisian journey and tell you about how I finished up my blanket, and I talked about a little bit, you know, about the Valentine's Day project. I'm not like a major Valentine's Day like celebrator or anything. Like, I just want to watch a movie, spend time with my husband. You know, I'm not super I'm not like, we're going out to dinner, doing the chocolates, the movies, you know, all the things. You know, I mean, if you are, that's totally cool. It's never really been my thing. That's all I have for you this week. Tune in next week. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next week. But until then, take care.